This is 3 marketing exercises that I love. The first one is search engine optimization related. The second is copy related, which also helps SEO. And the third one changed my life, and true marketers who really understand top of mind awareness, scaling, and compounding will really vibe with it. The first, writing down how to structure your site to house your pages. So to house your bottom of funnel SEO landing pages, to house your blog content, to house your resources, to house your comparison pages. How to arrange everything in a way that's natural and makes sense to users while still keeping things 2 clicks from the homepage. And if there's a blog, it's okay if it takes more clicks for some articles. If there's pagination, that's okay. But the further something is from your homepage, the less priority Google search and AI will give that thing. A lot of people will put their most important SEO landing pages just straight up on their homepage. But an easy and very natural thing to do is you have hub pages that house your very important SEO pages. So if you have a bunch of alternatives pages that compare your brand to competitors, then you would have a subfolder which and your URL structure would look like this: yourwebsite.com/alternatives/ the competitor name. And then this alternatives hub folder, it would be in the footer of your website. And that would make all of these alternatives pages only 2 clicks away from your homepage, giving these pages a lot of priority within Google. And these alternatives pages are great because you control the narrative for people who are looking for alternatives to your competitors. If you want to see an example of this, you can go to bittrex24.com/alternatives. You'll see things like free Hive alternative, free box alternative, Wix alternative, Typeform alternative, Ninja Forms alternative. There is a crazy long list of these alternative pages. They could do a way better job with this, way better, but it still ranks for a bunch of these alternatives keywords. So you write down, basically thinking through all of your subfolders, all of your hub pages. Do you call your blog, do you call it blog or do you call it articles? On edwardsturm.com, I call it articles. Do you have author directories where you try to rank for author names? So people searches one of the authors on your website, and then they get one of these pages for your authors where everything that this author has made on your site is listed, as well as a bio, a descriptive bio for that author. That way you can rank for that author's name. Do you do things like that? How do you organize your footer and your top navigation? What categories do you have in your footer? In edwardsturm.com, I have the resources category. I have Edward as a category, which is about, say hi, work with Edward, careers, photos. I have my SEO program as a category for my SEO course, Compact Keywords. And I have legal as a category for terms of use, privacy, FTC disclosure. For your bottom of funnel SEO landing pages, do you house them in something like uses, in a uses hub page, in a services hub page, in a solutions hub page, or something else? This is a question that I just got on YouTube. It's from Canal Laverdy. I hope I'm saying your name right. And this person said, if I have a fence company in Greenville, South Carolina, and one of its categories is privacy fence in Greenville, South Carolina, and I want to have subcategories with location pages like privacy fence Easley, privacy fence Taylor's, and privacy fence Greer, is it okay to hang off privacy fence in Greenville, South Carolina, or should they hang off a category where the main keyword is just privacy fence? I think it should be general without Greenville, South Carolina, but then that page will be very generic and will never rank in Greenville, which is where the physical location of the business is. Or on the other hand, I think it's odd if a user from other locations has to go from the homepage to privacy fence in Greenville, South Carolina to access their own location's landing page. They would lose many users along the way. And I said, do /, so this is the hub page for these location pages, do / privacy fence locations, and then the location name. Privacy fence locations, and then the location name. And it houses all of these location pages beautifully. And that Greenville page, that will be a more detailed page. And also Greenville will be in the homepage as well. But it doesn't have to be. It depends on how national the business is trying to seem. But either way, that's a very elegant way to do these different location pages. And that's a very natural way to structure the information architecture. So that's a great exercise to do to fill that out. Next one is coming up with a one-sentence value proposition that explains what results you give, what you do, and how you're different. I love this exercise. I did it when I was redoing the Compact Keywords landing page. Compact Keywords is my SEO course, and the value prop or elevator pitch that I wrote, one sentence, it is Compact Keywords is a course that shows how to get customers, users, and warm leads with conversion-based landing pages, not outdated blog content. So an easy way to structure this would be you start with your brand name, so Compact Keywords, what you are, a course, how you benefit customers, shows how to get customers, users, and warm leads, and then how you're different with conversion-based landing pages, not outdated blog content. Here's why this is great. People are really dumb. People are really dumb and they need extremely clear descriptions and benefits. This helps shape your homepage in a way that will satisfy EAT. EAT is an SEO acronym that stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. And having this written, it helps inform the rest of your copy to better build topical awareness by actually saying, what you are and what you do and why you're different. The copy that you have is so important for helping search engines or AI understand why you are authoritative in your topic. Making this helps with off-page link building. So maybe you're submitting to directories and now you know what language to use. Or you're answering journalists on Help a Reporter and you know how to describe your company. Or you have a marketing blurb in podcasts that you're going on because you're getting backlinks with podcasts through AIPodcastMatcher.com, which I talk about all the time on this show. And in the description for that podcast episode is this marketing blurb that you came up with, which is informed by this one sentence value proposition or elevator pitch. All of this stuff is so great for building your experience, expertise, authoritativeness, trustworthiness, for building EAT and topical authority. It helps with the rest of your copy. It helps conversions. It helps with bottom of funnel SEO landing pages, because now you're thinking about how you are memorable and why you are great. And that informs the way that you describe how your brand satisfies the intent of the keywords that you are targeting, of the bottom of funnel keywords that you are targeting. So I love that exercise. And the third one, the one that changed my life, and it will change your life too. It is the best thing. It is one of the best just period business exercises. It's you ask yourself, you journal, you write down, what would have happened if I had stuck with everything that I had started? I did this in 2021. And like I said, it was life-changing. I was living in Kiev at that time, in Kiev, Ukraine. It was before the war started. I lived there on and off through COVID from 2019 to 2022, the beginning of 2022. And it was 2021. And I went to this cafe there called Chlebny, and I got an Americano, and I got I think it was a New York cheesecake. Oh, so good with the cookie crust on the bottom. And I journaled furiously. And I wrote every business that I started, what would have happened if I had really focused on it and kept going to that date, to today? There's two questions to answer here. One is, what could have each company or each project grown into? And then number two is, how could the company or project have gotten there? And I'll tell you, this was so defining for me that throughout all the hard times and plateaus after starting my TikTok, which then became my Instagram and became this podcast, through all the plateaus, and so many plateaus, or things just take way longer than you think they will take, I remembered back to me sitting in that cafe realizing, oh yeah, things take longer and I just need to stick through it, see it through. And there were so many times where just things were frustratingly slow, or there was a 3-month plateau or a 6-month plateau. And I just knew that all I had to do was keep going, because I would eventually figure it out, or a big opportunity would eventually present itself. I'm going to give another example. I was in Lithuania a few months ago and I was sitting with somebody who watches my Instagram videos. And this guy, he sold his company in 2019, right at the onset of TikTok. And now he's getting a job and he's not thrilled with the job that he's getting. And he sold his company and it was a decent amount of money, but it wasn't enough money. And he had this unique e-commerce company that he sold. It was these stylish bracelets and he had been operating it for 5 years already. I think it was about, 5 years or something like that. And he had raving fans. He had fans who liked his company so much that they were making all of this user-generated content for his bracelets. And they were sharing them on Instagram as photos. And it was good, but he sold it basically right at the onset of the rise of items just like his bracelet going super viral on TikTok and Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts, where with just UGC just like this. He sold it right before that. And if he had kept it, I told him this and he realized this and he went white. He turned white and just got really silent. He was like, holy moly, I can't believe how much of a mistake this was in selling, because he thought about it and the amount of people selling items like this because they just have fans who make user-generated content videos, just sharing the products that they like, the unique e-commerce products that they like. It was right before this, and that would have been his moment. And what happens is the longer you persist at something, the wider your surface area for luck grows. Just like this example. He was almost at that point where it was coming his way. The market was just really going to come his way, way more than it had before. And then he sold the company right before that. It's not just everyone gets their chance. Everyone gets multiple chances, many chances. So you can make mistakes and you'll get another chance. Sean Purry, he's one of the hosts of the My First Million podcast. He put this in his newsletter and I really like it. He has an infographic. He says, imagine 1,000 people who all want the same thing as you. Here's what your competition actually looks like. The first half is just people who are too afraid to even try. And then the second, it's not a full half, but it's a huge amount of people. It's just people who gave up within 3 failed attempts. And then you have a bunch of people who are moving way too slowly. Then you have a lot of people who got distracted by shiny object syndrome. And then there's just 2 people left. And it's the other dude and it's you. And Sean finishes with this quote, as the great Charlie Munger said, take a simple idea and take it seriously. Most people, they quit too soon, or they get shiny object syndrome, or they bounce from opportunity to opportunity, just hoping to get immediate results, immediate success, but things always take longer than you think they will take. But if you stick with it, you will get a ton of opportunities. And it is okay if you fail, because you will eventually learn your lesson and then not fail. And when the next huge opportunity comes, you will be there. So go somewhere nice, sit with a coffee and something tasty, get into the zone and journal. Every business that you have ever started, every project that you have ever started, ask yourself, what would happen if you really focused on it and kept going with it until today? What could it have grown into and how could it have gotten there? And then also journal, also write down your information architecture for your website and your value proposition / elevator pitch. Again, my value proposition for Compact Keywords for my SEO course is Compact Keywords is a course that shows how to get customers, users, and warm leads with conversion-based landing pages, not outdated blog content. In fact, when I came up with this was so straightforward and useful, I just used it in the above the fold content of the Compact Keywords landing page. Literally right there in my hero, I write that. Here's the thing about SEO and about the Compact Keywords method. The people online, you see this all the time, the people online who are the most pessimistic and negative about search engine optimization, SEO is dead, clicks are down, everything's going down the toilet, AI has taken over. The people who are the most negative, it's because these people don't know the Compact Keywords method of SEO exists. If they did, they would be raving about search engine optimization the same way that I do, saying that it is the best marketing method, the best marketing channel out there. So if you want to learn more about it and see how that 1-sentence value proposition shaped that landing page, you can check out compactkeywords.com. And that is all for episode 769 of my daily digital marketing podcast. 769 days in a row doing this show. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. I hope this episode was valuable. I really hope you will do these exercises. Please, especially the third one. So useful. Thank you, and I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.